Welcome to AquarianRadio.com.
AquarianRadio.com.
Aloha and welcome to Aquarian Radio at AquarianRadio.com. I'm your host, Janet Lessin, with my co-host, Dr. Sasha Lessin. And today we're doing a very special episode of Experiencers Network, and it's called Access Your Contactor. Dr. Lessin, you begin.
If you're an extraterrestrial or interdimensional contactor, you may have suppressed an inner voice that actually agreed to your contacts. Maybe you agreed and forgot you did.
Maybe you remember ETs invaded you and think they did so against your will, but a protective part of you, a primary sub-self, labeled the contact to which you agreed as involuntary. Your primary self may have hidden from your awareness that you said yes to paranormal or extraterrestrial contact.
Sometimes, after extensive therapy and maturity, you realize that a part of you, a suppressed subpersonality, alter part, or a repressed inner voice, did say yes to contact. Your social or primary subselves can actually push your inner contactor, that's the voice inside your head, and push your inner contactor from your conscious awareness. And it does so to shield you from conventional people who'd shame, punish, or even lock you away for remembering and speaking of your ET or other paranormal experiences.
But it can be safe now to let yourself experience part of you that wants you to remember your experiences with ghosts, spacefaring entities, time travelers, and spirit guides, as well as your own existence on other planets, in other dimensions, and in the past and future. To the degree that you judge it safe, you can remember and even judiciously share your experiences with other contactors, as well as people in the ET Experiencers networks. You can, of course, share under a pen name and keep your privacy.
I suggest you let yourself remember these wonderful experiences. Ultimately, though, you'll see they're wonderful. You can opt to keep your contacts private, or you can share them. You learn, when you follow the cues that we're going to give you, to review and relive your contacts, and you do that from your center. Then you choose what to tell and what to hide from those who might freak if they hear what you've experienced.
The cues teach you to center yourself, to identify with your center. Your center is your conscious awareness of your many subselves or inner voices. From your ever-expanding center, you coordinate behavior that meets the deep needs of ever more of your inner voices. Your center takes into account the needs of your contactor, its subself, as well as the needs of your primary social and practical selves. Primary selves, like your pleaser, intellect, parent, judge, and self-critic, may keep you from the full awareness of the contactor part of you, so you can meet your social duties and not sound like a crazy person to other people.
From your center, you choose the degree to which you reveal or conceal your contactor subself and its unconventional experiences. You assess how much of your contactor you reveal to your own awareness and to other people. From your center, you can assess probable pushback you'll get if you remember and start to share your contacts. You can predict the possible pushback from mates, friends, bosses, disinformation agents, military intimidators, religious bigots, and people who fear your revelations. Now, people may fear your revelations if they have repressed their own paranormal information and intimations. Now, you've got to decide how much to reveal and how much to conceal, but at least let yourself remember.
So there's a cue sequence And on our website, aquarianradio.com, I'm also going to put this on experiencersnetwork.com, and it's on our schoolofcounseling.org, plus our Facebook pages on extraterrestrialcontact.com as well. And so we're not going to really do the cue sequence here, but when you do it, excuse me, when you do it yourself, the sequence begins with an evocation of your primary inner voices, and you're going to seek their permission to explore your contactor. Your primary voices that protect you from shame and punishment may have blocked you from either recalling your contacts, or may have blocked you from recalling that you consented to contact. So get that. You consented to contact somewhere in existence. You must get permission from your protective primary voices to let you hear the memories, desires, and needs of your inner contactor. So in a cue sequence, you will tell your primary voices to let you stop interviewing your contactor if they sense that you're recalling too much too fast. Your protective voices let you remember enough for you to handle as you respond to the cues, which we will give you on the website.
Yeah, and so to set this whole situation up, you've got to make a private setting, one where it's okay to make loud noises. You disconnect the phone. You make sure no one can interrupt you for a few hours as you work through the cues. You'll need several chairs or cushions and an area large enough for you to lie down, and wear loose-fitting clothes. Create semi-darkness in the room.
So you are going to vet a cue reader or explore in private. Ask a non-judgmental friend or therapist who is your reader to read the cues to you, and you tell him or her to give you plenty of time, at least 5 deep breaths, to respond to each cue. Make sure that the reader doesn't challenge the reality, status, the ontology of your contact memories, or ask questions that imply answers that she or he expects.
Now, if you don't have an open-minded reader, then just read the cues aloud into a recording device, and then you can play them to yourself. Or another way, you could read each cue and then take as much time as you need to respond to them. Respond aloud, or you can respond in writing.
So, we're not going to go through this now, like I said, but this coming Saturday, today is December 9th, 2015, December 12th, 2015, on KCOR Radio, Starseed Awakenings with Misha Johnston. Dr. Lessin, Dr. Sasha Lessin, and I, Janet Care Lessin, will take Misha Johnston through the cue sheets that are on our website, aquarianradio.com, extraterrestrialcontact.com, experiencersnetwork.com, and where else should I put it?
Well, if you're listening to this on the archives, then we did take Misha Johnson through this.
But regardless, wherever you are in time and space when you're listening to this, we will put this link far and wide on our various websites. Just Google Janet Kira Lessin and Dr. Sasha Lessin, that's Lessin. On Facebook or on the internet, we have all kinds of presences. And the reason we're doing this is to awaken humanity, to become conscious and aware that we have ongoing contact with extraterrestrials. If you're alive right now, you have probably had hundreds, if not thousands, of incarnations on the earth. Plus, there's a very interesting interview we did with Tolek. Look on Aquarian Radio, TOLEC. We're talking about our multi-dimensional, simultaneously existing extraterrestrial, human, many vibratory frequencies, many dimensions, that we are multi-dimensional beings. So I invite you to listen to our Tolek interview. And Dr. Lessin wants to say some things about what it means to be a contactor as opposed to the term contactee. And he will explain a little bit about his article that he wrote, which started this dialogue.
Well, first I'd like to say that tinfoil hats are the new black. We have been, those who have had extraterrestrial contact and are integrated in that and know that they have, and the people that have been afraid to come out and talk about their contacts because of pluralistic ignorance and the fear of sanctions and punishment is what makes them, and ridicule makes people basically a silent minority, and coming out with your experience, and you've got to be mindful of your circumstances and not tell the wrong people, or they'll give you pills and lock you up that you've had these experiences. But there's vast numbers of people, Janet can probably tell you how many, who have talked and recorded their experiences.
Well, right now we have many organizations like FREE, F-R-E-E, but we've been doing this ongoing, organizations that are conducting interviews with experiencers, with contactees, with contactors, and we're getting some true and real statistics on the amount of experiencers, contactees that are currently alive on this planet, and the estimates, the guesstimates, intelligent guesstimates, are about 25 million. Now, we have had other whistleblowers, researchers on our radio show in the past, and I forget the gentleman's name, but he had a theory that, and he had some evidence to support that, where everybody on the planet gets taken. It's much like we can mark all our cattle, and we can count all our sheep, and we can manage all our chickens, right? So humanity has the animal husbandry and the capacity to track and monitor its population, animal population they use for, food. And we are subject to the same type of management from the extraterrestrials, who have technologies way beyond our imagination. So they apparently have taken all 7.5 billion, whatever there is right now, at some point, and made a determination that there are only some contactors, experiencers that are, let's say, qualified for ongoing contact, and they appear to be looking into certain bloodlines and genetic structures for the ongoing contact. But apparently all of us get contacted at some time, and those memories are repressed by some kind of amnesia-creating technology or mechanisms that they use in these contact experiences to make you go unconscious. What we're inviting with this procedure, this cue sheet exploration that you will engage in either with a reader or in private or with a therapist, counselor, or hypnotherapist, is that you will uncover that you have had contact and to what degree you've had contact. And probably if you seek out this type of exploration, you probably have had more contact than the average person, because there seems to be some correlation with your desire for information and your level of contact. Dr. Lessin, what would you like to say?
So what you start with in the cue sheet that we'll be giving you is you learn how to center yourself, how to take your social personality, your professional personality, and put it on the side, and explore parts of you that you don't usually get a chance to, aspects of yourself that you don't usually get a chance to listen to. And one of them is you see if you have a part of you that's had some kind of paranormal experience, or experience that your public self doesn't really want to share. And it could be, with ghosts or extraterrestrials, or visionary dreams that give you a lot of direction in your life, and it could be something that you've experienced with an entheogen, but it would be a meditation, a profound kind of experience. And you start with a part of you that's open to those experiences, and if to the degree that your censoring selves let you, in the privacy, you get to hear what that part of you that doesn't really get a chance to get out, wants you to know about, what it wants from you and what it needs you to understand. And you start to talk to that. And then after a while, you ask it to open itself, that part of you opens itself to the extraterrestrial or multidimensional or other paranormal energy that has been giving it the contact. And we engage in a dialogue with both that energy that's contacting you and with the commanders of that contact, if there's an extraterrestrial. And we find out all kinds of interesting things, and you learn how to center yourself so that you can deal with the information, because it's going to have some really great stuff for you and humanity that you get. And you, instead of being afraid of it, you learn how to treasure that information and how to introduce it into your ecology in a way that betters your life and betters life here on this planet.
So we are disclosure, and as we gather the stories from the contactee experiencers, we awaken humanity to higher levels of awareness and greater consciousness. So we are disclosure, and your stories, we are seeking your stories, those who are willing to share, and you can come on anonymously, but your voice will come forth and create this major disclosure that we need in order to awaken humanity. So that's all I want to say for today. I think we're going to be doing more of this. This is an ongoing episode, or an ongoing series called Experiencers Network, part of the Aquarian Radio Network at aquarianradio.com. And we post all of our recordings as much as we can with all the different people that we're interviewing. So please do check back frequently to aquarianradio.com. Is there anything additional you would like to say, Dr. Lessin?
Well, just, since this is such a connected universe, and any information that you put out there reverberates all around the oikomene, the entire world, and very rapidly, and it gets picked up and it's tweeted to a roar if it's enough of us tinfoil hat people that talk. We can take the world will take their hats off to us.
Right, and this awakening process will create a better world for everyone. There are many, many, many repressed technologies and clean and green energy systems that our world governments have been suppressing to keep us locked in their mind control type system, or it's basically keeping us in lack consciousness and a perpetual state of war. It's 1984, George Orwell's 1984. And the countries are really the political systems and the religious structures which keep the planet in this terrorist false flag situation, and freaked out about, oh my, what are we going to do? Who's going to help us? Oh, our wonderful government's going to help us. They make more and more legislation, rules, and regulations, and we lose more and more of our freedom. They continually up the racism and prejudice against other religions, and that ends up with these jihads and terrorists and bombings in Paris and bombings in California, etc., etc. So it's getting to an uproar and level of insanity. However, we can take back our reality. We can take back our world. And the best thing to do is nullity. And the other next best thing, or the
tell them what nullity means.
Nullity is don't participate as much as you can. Just withdraw. Don't listen to their Fox News and all their systems which have propaganda. Which just try and experiment. Stop listening to television for a week, and especially stop listening to the news. You might notice that you're not so agitated, and that your life starts to calm down, and that things get better. And you might want to try it for a month or a year. When I stopped being subjected to ongoing television, I had a roommate and he played the television 24/7. And I moved away from that. And it was like, oh my goodness, this is how peaceful existence can be. So there's something in the programming itself, not only the words are being said, but the vibratory frequencies in the television waves that make you nervous and upset, or at least made me. But I find that as I interview other people, that they have that same experience, and so you might want to try that experiment. And I think that's about all I want to say for today. So anything else? One last word? Okay, I think we're done. But thank you very much for joining Janet Lessin and Dr. Sasha Lessin on Aquarian Radio at aquarianradio.com. This has been an episode of Experiencers Network, and today's episode is Access Your Contactor Through Your Center. Much love and blessings, and aloha.
Aloha. Mm-hmm.